Hello, my jolly friends. Man of Man Reviews here, and that was a terrible intro that I will never do again, but let's move past it as if it never happened. Anyway, I've already made a video about MMORPGs and how they basically piss me off nowadays, but while we're watching the video of a gameplay of a really lovely game that you're gonna love, I wanted to kind of go back to the MMORPGs because it is one of my favorite genres ever in the gaming, and from it I've gained a lot of really amazing memories, mostly with, my friends and the fun times we had, and it's really saddening as to what MMORPGs have turned in the past 3 to 4, even longer, but let's say 3 to 4 years. First, I will briefly touch on these pseudo MMORPGs that market themselves as, fan-fast bullshit shit, browser-based, no download, no launcher, god-awful things that we call games. The prime example is the one that you're witnessing now on the screen, whereas I was literally, and I mean literally, playing this game with my left mouse button, and I was pressing it for about 20 minutes, doing absolutely nothing else, being instantly rewarded for just pressing a single fucking button on the assortment that we have as PC gamers. Now, obviously, this isn't some kind of, isolated MMORPG, a browser-based MMORPG that's unique in this perspective. This is majority of them. They basically all have this, not just auto-pathing, right? They also have these auto-complete features that are completely mind-boggling, and for the life of me, I can't figure out why people actually enjoy these types of games, and to be honest, I'm not even gonna bother, because this is the same crowd that claims that mobile gaming isn't absolute shit.
Because it is. Oh baby, it is.
Now, obviously, I'm not claiming that every single browser-based MMORPG is complete crap, because I do remember playing, I think it was Steam Life or City of Steam or something along those lines, that was kind of bearable in the way they executed this shit, but it was clear that it was completely dwindled by the fact that it was, as a matter of fact, browser-based MMORPG, and would have worked 50 times better if it was just normal fucking game. The problem with these browser-based MMORPGs is that they offer nothing save from instant gratification. They offer a bunch of pop-ups, the UI is completely bollocks with all these fucking icons that give you shit constantly for doing absolutely nothing, and gameplay basically dwindles down to pressing your left fucking mouse button. Okay, yes, you can play the game without pressing the left mouse button on the single fucking spot on the screen, but why the hell would you do that when it's not fun? It's unresponsive, it's laggy, it's extremely jaggy because it's based on browsers. And I don't have that much of an issue with browser-based MMORPGs because they're not that popular, they're not that played, at least I hope they're not. But the problem resides is when the features that are primarily present in these browser-based pseudo MMORPG lookalikes, when they start translating into actual MMORPGs. And the prime example is the fucking UI shit. Okay, the fucking UI shit that's slowly starting to implement itself in the regular MMORPG shit. Now, what do I mean by this? I mean, those, like, random buttons on the screen, they're like, oh, look, you have a reward because you did something crappy. These things annoy the living shit out of me. And I'm pretty sure that a majority of actual MMORPG players also hate them, because what they do is just, they basically crowd the screen, they give you shit that you didn't earn for reasons that you don't understand. They have no place in MMORPGs, okay? Another thing that I really want to discuss about what simply fucks MMORPGs right in the ass, it's not even the grind. Okay, I see a lot of people mentioning this, that it's the grind that kills MMORPGs in the long run. I don't think that is. I honestly don't. As long as it's not excessive as in Black Desert Online levels, which is completely fucking insane, I think the grind is an acceptable way of making the endgame work. Because, let's face it, every single MMORPG since the inception of the genre has had the grind to, various levels. A lot of people praise, as an example, World of Warcraft for having one of the best endgames. Well, not as of recently, but, in the past. But in reality, it was also a grindy experience where you had to do the same raids and the same dungeons over and over again. The reason why it was fun is because it was challenging, right? It had a great decent variety to the point where you didn't have to do the same dungeon over and over again. In 1 hour, you can actually spread your fun throughout various, dungeons and difficulties. Another reason is that you didn't have to play the game every single day to stay relevant. You could have actually taken a pause for a day or two or you just needed to shut down for a bit and not play it just to kind of, reinstall energy into your fucking mind. The problem is when they started introducing the thing that I call MMORPG killer. The fucking dailies. Now, the dailies are a decent way, or at least in theory, they are the decent way to make players come back to your shitty game, right? You give them these daily quests that offer kind of reputable rewards, right? They're kind of tempting, and you feel as if you skip them, you would kind of be, falling short of something, but in theory, they shouldn't be that penalizing. They're just incentive to come back and play the game every day for about an hour or two, or however the fuck long it takes. Now, when these things were first introduced, they were like, oh, it's just another reason to play the game on daily basis, right? They were not excessive, they were not really annoying, and more of a, oh god, I have to do it, but I don't want to, oh shit. They were just there as an additional content. The problem was when the endgame, the entirety of the fucking endgame started revolving around these things. Because nowadays, in majority of MMORPGs, if you skip a single day playing the endgame portion, I guess, of the MMORPGs, you are screwed. You are fucked in the ass so deep that you will take another month to catch up to people. Well, obviously, it's kind of an exaggeration, which is the point, because I want you guys to kind of endorse this idea that dailies are cancer. So I'm kind of exaggerating here, but you get the point. The point is that dailies are no longer additional content, they are a fucking necessity. Okay, they're a fucking necessity that you need to do because they offer too big of a reward for what they, require to skip them. A lot of people have been praising Revelation Online as the new big MMO, but this here is the greatest example of what I consider to be the most cancerous thing in MMORPG. Starting from earliest leveling, not even waiting till you max out your character, you are absolutely required, and I mean required, not just, incentivized, you are required to do daily and weekly dungeons, because if you don't, you will fall behind so far back that you will be a fucking Earth staring into that empty space in the fucking universe that has about 10 galaxies, whereas it should have, I don't know, 10,000 or something like that. I'm not good with, astrophysics and shit. I don't fucking know. This is the reason why I think MMORPGs are turning into a fucking chore to play. Because you don't play the game for the love of it, because you play it because you need to play it. You have that voice inside your head that goes,
well, if you don't play today, you'll be skipping a lot of oh, you skipped the day, you're fucked, you don't have to play it anymore anyway.
Then you start playing it because it's fun, but it's not fun because you're far behind, okay? You're far behind everyone else because you took time to actually kind of, not bore yourself to death with playing the game. Black Desert Online saw the same issue. You had to play the game as if it was your job. Okay, as if it was your regular 8-hour job every day in order to stay competent, okay, in order to stay competitive at a top level. It was impossible, I mean literally impossible to skip a single day and still remain relevant. Yes, luck and fucking RNG Jesus played a little bit part of it, but playing the game daily for 8 hours was basically a necessity, something you had to do in order to stay competitive at a high level. Now, obviously, this doesn't concern the casual players, okay? You don't have to put your jimmies and your fucking thumbs up your ass and scream at,
well, it doesn't concern me.
I know it doesn't concern you. I'm talking about a specific crowd that really likes to invest a lot of time in a single MMORPG because they love playing it, not because they have to play it, okay? Because I already know that I'm gonna hate Revelation Online. I'm gonna hate Revelation Online because I won't be incentivized to play it for the fun of it. I'll be doing so because I have to, because if I don't, I'll fall behind. The same thing happened with Blade and Soul, okay? I played Blade and Soul on launch every day for about 10 hours till I maxed out, and I burned out. I simply burned out when I reached the end game and I started, that fucking fervorous grind. I burned out and I needed a day or two to just fucking relax. By the time I came back, I was fucked. I was way behind the rest of the crowd, and they didn't want to accept me in the runs because my DPS simply didn't measure up nowhere near theirs because I skipped a day or two or three of fucking game. We need to stop. I understand why developers do this. You need something, you need a hook to keep the players coming back day after day to play your goddamn game. But this is not a way to do it. Creating these stupid fucking dailies that are simply a necessity, not the additional content, is idiotic. Okay, go back to the most primitive of ways. Go back to, okay, you have 2 daily entrances to these raids, to these dungeons. Do that. That was good enough. Okay, just make them challenging. Just make them challenging so that we don't have the ability to beat every single thing in your fucking endgame within a month. Okay, I remember playing Terra about a year or two back, I can't remember exactly when, and it took me about 2 months to level my first character because I didn't know what the fuck was I doing. By the time I knew, I was leveling him in like 20 hours, even less. Yeah, it was pathetic. It was extremely pathetic. Anyway, when I came to the end game, I absolutely had no idea what I'm doing. Okay, I had no idea what to run. I had no idea what gear I needed, but it took me about 2 weeks to get decently geared enough to be able to run every single dungeon and raid at the end game save for one. Just one, and that was because I had terrible luck with enchanting my fucking gear. By the time first month rolled around, I had finished everything, okay, in the end game content. And this was taking into account that I actually played other characters and leveled them during that time because I simply got burned out on my main. Developers need to realize that gamers and people in general can't do same shit every day. It gets boring, we get burned out, especially if we're playing the same character over and over again. We basically turn into machines doing the repetitive actions, moving to the single point, in the room when boss does the big attack and spamming the same fucking buttons and combos all over again. Doing this isn't fun for the extended periods of time, okay? Especially if you're not into PvP, which offers much more variety because of the different playstyles, blah blah, you get the point. This is specifically on the PvE content, so don't get, again, your thumbs stuck up your fucking asses for some reason. Dailies either need to completely be gone from MMORPGs or they need to be remade, okay, into something cosmetic, something additional, something that doesn't change the core gameplay in any way, shape or form. Revelation Online, I'm telling you this right away, will die as a hardcore MMORPG within 6 months. There is no dispute over that, because there is no person that I know or have ever known that will be able to maintain this shit for the extended periods of time. It's simply impossible, it gets boring, so please, if you're out there, you somehow, some way, some magical fucking way stumble onto this video and you're developing an MMORPG at the moment, or have plans of doing so in the future, don't include these shitty daily, not even quests, okay? This is not about daily quests, this is about simply daily activities that need to be done, as in if you don't do them, you'll get fucked. Make daily something additional, something that players can, play and have fun with when they get banned by the, main game. Because doing the same raid and the same dungeon over and over again, believe it or not, can actually get tiring no matter how fun your combat is. Prime example, Black Desert Online. Second prime example, Blade and Soul. Third prime example, soon to be Revelation Online. Simply doing the same shit over and over again isn't fun for the extended periods of time. That's why I'm saying that you should make these fucking daily things not a necessity, but something to fall back onto when the actual main game bans you, and don't punish your fucking player base for skipping a day or two of your shitty game because they need to recharge their batteries of the boardroom. Don't punish. Because when you start punishing, players will start, why the fuck should I try and just go back to another one because I'm falling behind and it's not fun anymore. Just don't. Okay, thank you guys for watching and, well, see you next time, I guess.